Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm getting something about geranium and rosehip. Geranium and rosehip. Okay, we're starting off with the King of Wands and also the King of Swords. So we're moving into a place of focusing on taking action. There may be somebody that you're connecting with. I also see this about being two aspects of you. You may have been called upon, and now you are answering that call. I'm seeing you taking action, and I'm seeing that an important aspect of how you're taking action is through communication. So whether you are calling something out, saying something, having a conversation with someone, using a platform to speak out about something, writing, anything related to air energy, communication. Yeah, it seems like these two frequencies, these two energies were meant to be coming together. For some of you, this is somebody that you're connecting with, that you are partnering up with, and it seems like you guys are able to work well now together. For others of you, these are just two aspects of you that you are getting to work together. Before, you could have been taking action and maybe leaving out something that needed to be said, or the communication aspect of something, or there wasn't as much of a focus on the air energy, and now there is. There's even like more, can even be logic too with what you're doing, thinking more about it. I'm hearing erudite with the King of Swords. It seems like these two energies needed to come together. It was necessary to make something happen. And I'm seeing like a shared dream, a shared vision even. However, before these two energies were brought together, there could have been somewhat of a confusion or something not really making sense. But now everybody's on the same page is what I'm seeing here. It looks like doubt is what needed to be sorted out. Something, this could have been holding you back. Some sort of fear, doubt. That is now being exposed. What I'm getting is that it was holding you back from whatever this thing is that you wanted. But now I'm not seeing that happen anymore. Because you recognize that the way that your shadow energy was intruding into what was going on was by bringing a sense of confusion and affecting your confidence. That's what had been happening before. This does feel like instilling doubt in some way. Doubt, fear, things of that nature. Okay, so you're in a place where you're taking action. You seem grounded within this. There's thought behind what it is that you're doing, how you're taking action, what you're speaking out, how you are making moves, and also the procedure. The intention as well behind it. Everything is synthesized, everything is on the same page, and that's what needed to be accomplished. This is a completion for you now, is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing you also having learned that how this aspect of your shadow shows up is by a way of bringing confusion to you that affects your self-confidence. So this is something that could have been holding you back from taking action. Whatever this thing is that you have now done or that you will be doing, this had been hindered by whatever this was that was going on. Because it had you not believing in yourself, or it had you being confused. Like, should I be confident about this? Like, am I doing what needs to be done? Like, will I be able to? Do I have this? Am I practiced enough? Do I know enough? Like, can I enter into this space confidently and rightly so? Looks like a big yes to me. As I said before, I'm seeing the only thing that was holding you back was a sense of like fear, doubt, things like that. It wasn't anything else. There wasn't another reason, as far as what I'm seeing. But it may have tripped you up because you could have thought like, hey, I wonder if this is coming from somewhere else, or there's a reason that this is popping up. This can also show up as anxiety too. Things that feel like negative symptoms. But yeah, there was a lack of clarity. There's a sense of this bringing confusion to you. And I'm describing it too so you're understanding as well how it's working. Because the more we understand it, the more we bring light to it and we diminish the shadow. That is the point. Because it is transmuted into light, into consciousness, into awareness. So, now that this is done, I'm seeing something happening very rapidly. Something now gets moving. I'm seeing a notion about like either sending a message out or you're having a conversation with someone. This can also be somebody reaching out to you, but it looks more like I'm seeing this more than anything, even though it can be other things. I'm seeing something about you. I feel this sense of broadcasting a message. This can even be you making some sort of statement. But yeah, once you got over this hump, things happen very quickly thereafter. It seems also like you're manifesting at a faster rate as well. And now there's a sense of confidence that you have everything that you need, that it's all intact now. There's not a question about that. And that was a question before. Like whether you were, it seems like you were questioning whether or not you were like prepared enough to be able to do whatever this is. And now I'm seeing you move into a space where you're like, I know that I got this. I'm not seeing you question that anymore. I'm seeing you be good on this. I'm even seeing like the way that you would be perceived and maybe even how you're feeling towards yourself. Like maybe this is also the transition. What I'm seeing energetically is this shift that you move through, and it even looks like you change form in some way. Like you appear differently as you're doing what you're doing, and it looks like you are in exactly the right place doing exactly what is needed for you to accomplish whatever it is that you are currently involved in. I'm also seeing you working on something that you've been practicing. I'm seeing something that you're taking very seriously too. So there may be some sort of like repetition that's been involved in this. You know what? I'm gonna give an example because I'm having something come through. This reminds me of when I first started doing tarot, when I was like trying to figure out the cards and learn them and stuff, trying to figure out if I was at the point where I was ready to actually do a reading with another person or to like begin tapping into another person's energy. And until I gained the confidence that like the way that I would communicate and speak out and be able to connect with another person, throat chakra to throat chakra, until I felt like I could connect in that way, I'm seeing there be these steps that are taken where it's about recognizing what you want to be doing in the first place, recognizing purpose, and then recognizing like how do we make our actions, our desires, our intention, and also how we're doing things align with one another. So how do we get to the point where everybody's on the same page? And when I say everybody, I mean like all the aspects of you. How do we get all on the same page? So I'm seeing that be accomplished here. So for example, it would be like, okay, I want to learn tarot enough to be able to like be doing readings with other people. And then I'm seeing you complete that chapter. And then it seems like you're already prepared and you have what you need, meaning like you know the information, you can like actually do the reading, you've practiced enough that you know you can tap into another person's energy or like read for them, whatever it is you want to call it. But then there's this thing that holds you off. So there's this moment where rather than like taking the leap, I'm seeing you kind of standing over the edge and being like, I don't know if I'm gonna jump or not, because there's this question like, I feel like I'm doubting my self-confidence, like maybe I need to rethink this, reevaluate. And then I'm seeing you understand that this is not coming from your intuition. This was coming from a place of doubt. It was coming from a place of fear. And that's what had you tripped up. But it's important and it's a great thing for one to pause until this is figured out. Because if it had been coming from your intuition, it's something that like maybe you would need to go back to the drawing board, or there was something you needed to reevaluate or go over again. However, within this scenario, I'm seeing that the only thing that had been holding you back from getting a move on things was this fear, this doubt, this sense of confusion that you were feeling, that was having you question like whether or not you were prepared to do this. Then I'm seeing, because that is acknowledged here, I'm seeing you move into a spot where you're ready to go with the Magician. Whatever this is that you want to do, whatever this is that you're going after, whatever this is that you want to pursue, that you are creating, you're ready for it. Completely ready. And you know it too. For some of you, this is related to career. This is also can be related to a hat that you're wearing, a role that you're playing. I'm also hearing performing. Some of you may be making money doing this, actually. It doesn't have to be. There can be some other resource that's connected with this, but I am seeing the earth energy here, so this means there's going to be some sort of manifestation that is going to be material that you will be seeing. There's also something here about needing to make sure that you're doing things in a way that it is in alignment with like your long-term vision as well. Some of you do have an audience, is what I'm seeing. You have some sort of platform. I'm not seeing this be something that you're doing in private. This looks like something where you know other people are watching you. Watching you, learning from you, observing you. That may have been what was throwing you off before too. Knowing that knowing that you would be being observed, that it seems like that's connected with what had you delaying yourself before from jumping into this, being like, who's watching, what are they going to say, especially because I'm seeing this come from a place of like paranoia or hypervigilance, where there's like a fixation on more so how other people are going to receive what you're doing rather than the actual work that you were doing. So that's also something to keep in mind as well. It's always great to be able to like lean into thoughts that we have, fears that we have, to be able to like dig it up and get underneath there and see what's really going on. And it also gives you an awareness as well that if you feel triggered in some way or if something pops up again, you're familiar with it, and you also know like where on a scale you tend to lean as well, or like when you're feeling anxiety, what that normally shows up looking like for you, because it may look different for each of us as well. So very interesting. This feels like you being on some sort of stage where you are being like watched. But I'm seeing there be a colorful mix of viewers even. I'm also seeing you be in a space where before you may have been like quite preoccupied when it came to like who was observing you. When it came to your audience, there was more of a focus on that, and now I'm not seeing that be much of a thing anymore. It seems like initially it was something that mattered, and maybe that was also for validation purposes too. It could have been. But now I'm not seeing that be a concern. It's more so like there's an awareness now, but whatever that fear was that you had that came from a shadow space of like feeling anything that's connected with the closed heart chakra, like feeling separation, feeling severing with other people, feeling like you're going to be judged, and caring about that, anything that's connected with like other people's opinions where they would not be perceiving you in the way that you want to be perceived. Essentially, I'm seeing this come to an end now. So there's some sort of conclusion that you've gotten to, connected with the audience, and your relationship with the audience has developed in some way, where I'm not seeing that fear necessarily be relevant any longer, even though it had been. It looks too like there's something else that you're doing now as well that you feel more intrigued by. This can also be doing a similar thing to what you were doing before, and having there be like maybe a different focus or a different purpose or a different intention even than before. Something about your practice, something about what you're doing is changing. Something about what is motivating you to do what you're doing is changing. Changing in a way where there's further development. Because karmically, you know you're being pulled here next. I'm seeing. This seems very much like you are moving in the flow of things, and that you're also aware too when you're not feeling in flow, when you feel like you're stuck or stagnant in some way. For some of you too, you could have known as well that like you had a particular type of like audience or viewers. I'm seeing this reading be connected with people that have you're in the center of something, or you're in an environment where you're being observed. And remember too, it's like this could be a parent with their children. Like this can be somebody at their job with their coworkers watching. It can be like somebody with a platform and a following, support, stuff like that. It can be so many different things, but I'm seeing like somebody being observed for a role that they're playing or a job that they're doing, something of that nature. What I'm seeing is that even though you knew that you had some sort of following, something needed to come to an end because there was something going on that became an issue. And it was coming from a place of, I know that we keep going back to this, but I'm seeing it be a sticking point here within the reading. Something was popping up that you started feeling uneasy about that needed to come to an end. And it seems like it was connected with like people watching you do whatever this is that you were doing. So it could have been like a way that you were interacting even energetically with those that were connecting with you, or it could have been something about, I'm not seeing this just be you and you here. I'm seeing this be like you and people around you. The way either that people were like trying to talk to you, trying to connect with you, comments that people were, I was gonna hear saying, but I'm hearing leaving. Anything like that, anything about the talk, the communication. I'm seeing it go both ways where like you would also have access as well to like what other people were saying, because with the Page of Swords, this is a very chatty energy. It's one that has a lot to say. It's one that also may not think about what one is saying. It's somebody that is more so, there's less discernment and deliberation with the conversation. So yeah, something was going on that would have felt extremely uncomfortable for you. Not liking the frequency of something is what I'm seeing. So that's why it needed to come to an end. And for some of you may actually be switching up what it was that you were doing before because you didn't like the direction that something was going in. It feels like as soon as you feel it start pulling off of the path that you feel you're meant to be going down, I'm seeing you like redirect. Or your guides be like putting a portal right in front of you and being like, jump through here, and then it puts you back where you're supposed to be going. Which seems as well like it really takes a lot of energy. Yeah, it really takes a lot of energy on your part too, because of needing to pay attention to this. I'm seeing you here being somebody that's like very in tune with like the frequency and when it's changing and when it's shifting and all of that. I'm seeing as well that whatever this new thing is that you're starting, for some of you, you don't know what this is yet because it's not time. And I'm seeing you already it looks like you're chomping at the bit to kind of go in this direction, but something's not ready yet is what I'm getting. But I'm seeing it be like a race here. As soon as you're ready to go, you are going to be allowed to move towards it without any barrier in front of you. This is a new thing. This is an exciting thing. I'm seeing a lot of young looking energy, meaning this feels like something very exploratory, something that you feel optimistic about, something that you feel excited about pursuing, something that also feels fun. I'm seeing a lot connected with something being fun to do, and it may be something that you have like less experience with, less familiarity with. But I'm not seeing that hold you back in any way. You seem quite confident. I think you're also, this looks as well like being excited about a change too. And that may be part of it. There's also a focus on relaxing, reconnecting, recharging with your energy. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. To have both the Knight of Wands and also the Fool here, this is like fun and excitement and like laughter and getting to explore things and feeling really happy about doing that. Feeling like a sense of freedom, even. Like there's a boundlessness to it. And I'm seeing you like not even know directly where this is going to connect you. Like I'm seeing how the Knight of Wands is running towards the Wheel of Fortune. And as soon as the Knight of... I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune be like a portal. As soon as the Knight of Wands runs into the portal of the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Wands is going to go somewhere, but the Knight of Wands doesn't even know where they're going to go. You don't even know where you're going to be going. But I'm seeing you be excited about that. It's just part of it. It seems like this is a focus on like your cardinal energy. This also feels like somebody that may have like more so fire in their chart. Doesn't have to be, but maybe there's even something activated for you. But I am seeing a heavy presence of fire energy here. I'm seeing a little bit of earth, a little bit of air, and I'm seeing a lot of fire. Like 4 times more than any other element. Okay, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It looks even like there are less rules with whatever this is that you're doing. Like, I'm seeing it be like you're handed this thing and you can color in the lines, you can color out the lines, you can color on the back of it, you can color on the table, whatever you want to do with this. So there's a lot of creative liberty and freedom, it seems like, for you to just go where you want to be going. There's a lot of exploring, there's a lot of learning, there's a sense of general optimism here as well. Feeling like you're connecting with things in a new way, because to also have the Uranus energy, this is exploring things and it's also discovery in an inventive sort of way. And then I'm also seeing you have time for yourself where it's like play and also rest. I'm seeing that be important. Like running around and then also grounding too. I'm even seeing somebody like go out and explore for the day and then come back home and kind of like log everything that's been going on, or like connecting with the guides and having conversations about it, stuff like that. Kind of organizing everything and allowing yourself to reset. I'm seeing there be so much that's being gained from this experience, and it seems like it's going to lead to something bigger that is going to be like the cornerstone of something that feels very stable for you. So even though this feels like fun, where it's not like you have to go out and you have to go do this, and it doesn't feel like a regimented mission that you're being sent on, I'm seeing this be like a lot of stuff that you are learning. It reminds me of those schools that kids go to where instead of them having like a particular I forget what the word is for it. It's somebody's last name. I the kids go to school, right? And instead of learning where they have to do like math and science and English and history and all of that stuff, they get to pick to choose to study about what they're interested in. So that's what this looks like to me. You get to pick what it is that you want to do. And I'm seeing it's like while you're having fun and while you're experiencing all of this stuff, you're also learning and getting like the information that you're meant to be getting. So it's happening simultaneously. But you may not even realize. And I am seeing there be something important that's connected with this as well. High Priestess. This is bringing stability to something quite important for you. I also find it interesting that we have no zodiac sign here. We only have planets. We have Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, and the moon. The High Priestess is going to be receiving an offer, and it comes from the experience that this person is having, that you are having, or this person, depending on where your energy falls into this. So, right, this person is over here like having this whole experience, and there's all this stuff that they're collecting. And then I'm seeing them kind of retreat and go back and like connect all the dots of what this stuff is. And then I'm seeing that through them connecting the dots, it reminds me of like those actual like color by number pictures. It's like that. Whatever this is that's being connected, you take all of these individual points and you put them on the map, and then you connect all of them. And so, like, by this action of doing that, there's like a bigger picture that is framed out by this process that's happening. And then once the clarity is gained, this person can then turn around, and it seems even like something that is being collected and being offered to the High Priestess. This is what I'm seeing. So it even seems like something is then being like handed off in a way. Because I'm seeing all of this end with like a package being delivered to the High Priestess. And it's of all of this pertinent information. The thing is that, like, when you or this person, whoever this is for you, is out, like, gathering all of this, they're just doing it because they know that they've been guided to be doing this. Like, there wasn't even the notion of, like, hey, I'm gonna give this to the High Priestess at the end of the day. That came later, is what I'm seeing. But that is where this is going, is also what I'm seeing. Someone may also go through a bit of a quandary, maybe we can say, that they find themselves in, where they're like, do I want to take this for myself or do I want to share it? I'm seeing that also be a thing. It's like somebody's trying to figure out, like, do they want to keep something completely for themselves, or do they want to, like, I'm hearing something about like blast, but I'm seeing it be more of like a loudspeaker thing, something that like echoes out or is sent out in some way, something that would be shared, something that would be communicated. Okay, now I'm getting a message now too about people showing up in a particular way when they are moving in alignment with their mission. When you move in alignment with your mission, what happens is that because you are doing what uniquely you have been guided to do, you have been called to do, this means that because other people like observe you doing your thing that feels right for you, that feels natural for you to be doing, it allows like other people in the environment to like watch you, and that sends out a signal to those people too. And eventually, like, all of the people that are kind of like in their element doing their thing, it is going to, I'm seeing this really interesting image of like these points, and I'm seeing this be like people, but in all of these different locations that are like doing what they feel is like their path, their mission to be doing. And because they're doing it, there's some sort of like resonant effect that this has, where I'm seeing like a beacon be sent out, something that just keeps like transmitting some sort of signal even. And I'm seeing like all of the people that are on the same frequency are getting connected, but I'm not seeing them be necessarily in the same place. And it seems like the only way that they can get connected as well is by like each of them doing like their dharmic path. This is what I'm seeing, fulfilling their dharmic path. And that is how they connect. It's not by like, that is how they call out, like calling out to call in. And there's something about it like connecting and reaching with the other energies that are doing the same thing. And that's how they find like even the common thread. But until one comes out of their shell and does this, they won't be able to be recognized. One is recognized through the authentic work that they are doing. And that's why it's so important to shed and to move with the rhythm, to move with the flow of things, even if we don't always understand it immediately, because it may not be making linear sense to us. All right. We are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.